Yeah, baby. I always loved that one. Okay.
What's crappening? Welcome to the Under the Foreskin, a show dedicated to the week's happening of SJU and Misfits Fantasy Football League, Yahoo League ID number 161307. Coming at you live from the Under the Foreskin studios. My name is Kyle. With me again is the Commissioner of the League, Sir Alexander O'Dunchkin.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, Kyle. Thanks for having me.
Well, last time we went along, so let's get up and kicking this time. Let's go over last week's results. We had quite the week in fantasy football. Let's start out with the Sioux City Smugglers. Say that 10 times fast. They took on the Poughkeepsie Pandas, and the Smugglers came out on top. I think they were the top scoring league of the week.
Yep. Roger and his squad really put up a good score last week, and they really showed how to put points up on the board. It's definitely going to be a tough team to beat through the rest of the season. Players that really stood up for the Smugglers this week was Kenny Britt. A lot of people had given up on him, and this year, this first game here, he's playing really well. He's putting 27 points up on the board. And hopefully for Roger and the Sioux City Smugglers, he continues to do that.
And for Tyler Olson on the other side of the ball, the Poughkeepsie Pandas, he had a good week out of some guys. He had a couple duds. Tyler fell victim to the classic kicker gets hurt on the opening kickoff. Nate Kading went down right away, chasing down Percy Harvin.
Really
which,
hurt.
If you were following SJU Misfits Twitter, you would have read about. But anyways, so that hurt him right away. And then, he had a good week out of Calvin Johnson. Tony Romo played fine. AP was quiet. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis was pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's got a good squad, and he could definitely bounce back.
Okay.
Yeah. Next up, the Potomac Pretenders, my team, took on the Duluth Draft Dodgers, which is Adam's team. And I'm gonna be honest, I was feeling real confident going into this one, and right off the bat, it got ugly fast.
I think a lot of people have underestimated Adam and the Duluth Draft Dodgers this season, and he might be able to put up good points every week this year. One question mark for him, though, is definitely no Sean Moreno this week, and in the future weeks. He's already having some injury problems, and if he continues to have that through the year, Adam could have problems putting points up on the board as his backup running backs just aren't of that great of quality.
You look at that squad, he's got a lot of solid players. No one who really goes, wow, that's fantastic, but he got a lot of standout performances from Deshaun Jackson. Maurice Jones-Drew had a solid game, and the Bears defense really put the dagger in me.
The defense is always a question mark on any team. Is they can put up 3 or 4 or 5, 10 points up one week and 30 the next. It's one of those things that it's kind of luck of the draw on any given Sunday, as they say.
And I just had too many holes in my lineup. When you look at my starting line, Stafford had a good week, Austin good week, Wayne good week, Charles starts to fall off, Mendenhall 2 points, come on, Richard. And then after that, just really fell off the old face of the earth. Yeah, that's how I feel.
We're moving on.
Moving on. We had the Crapstone Prairie Dogs, your team, and the Bakersfield Border Collies. They had a nice matchup. It was close all week till right at the end. Why don't you tell me what happened, Alex?
Well, Chad Ochocinco really did not perform. He hasn't really picked up our playbook at all, and if he doesn't do that, he's going to be a huge problem for the Prairie Dogs. And when you play like that, you just can't be the top dog. So Jason came out on top there, and my team fell hard. And the production I got out of my receiver core, which is the strength of my team, was just unacceptable. And if that continues, I'm going to be in the bottom half of the standings for the rest of the season. But who knows? Still a lot of season.
A lot of season. That's just week one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
So the Philly Dream Team, Neil Dingman's team, took on the Gnawbone Butte Pirates, the roommates team. We're going to go with Zach and LB.
Yeah, this was the blowout of the week,
Yeah.
Kyle. The Gnawbone Butte Pirates, you know what? They were definitely not prepared. I don't know if the not having any off-season training camps really screwed with their minds or screwed with their preparation or what, but they continue to give this sort of effort, it's done
It's
for
a
them.
long season.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real long one if that keeps up. But they have some bright parts to their lineup. Matt Ryan didn't have a good week, nor did any of the Atlanta Falcons. So hopefully, if he turns it around, starts putting up some numbers, they can begin to put a team together. Another thing is Chris Johnson, absolutely abysmal, just terrible there. That can't happen when you're putting that kind of money up for a guy like that, especially when you wait out all year and trying to get a big contract to give that kind of effort is just embarrassing.
And on the other side, Philly Dream Team, I think everyone agrees Dinger had a very, very nice draft, very nice auction. He got a good squad together. I mean, he's got some question marks. Who knows what McFadden will do all year? Beanie Wells is always a question mark. Bolden, Jennings is pretty solid, you got to think, with Rodgers hurling the ball and Breeze. But Dinger had 30 points on Thursday night. He was already so far ahead of the Butte Pirates. I just don't think they had any confidence.
I think they probably each gave up.
Yeah.
But, Dinger is going to be a tough guy to beat. He put a really good team together.
Probably a lot of research done.
Probably, you know what? He does do his research.
That's right.
And that's where he kind of really comes through as manager. I think one thing to look out for, though, are his running backs with McFadden and Beanie Wells. They're always injury prone.
Yep.
And, Wells is unproven. He had a good week last week, but that may not continue.
That's right. Next up, we have the Tallahassee Trouser Snakes taking on the Sausage Wallets. And this is another game that started on Thursday night with the Sausage Wallets hurler, Aaron Rodgers, going at it. Started out great. Again, if you're following our Twitter account, SJU and Misfits, you would have seen that he had 3 touchdown passes in the first drive, if you weren't watching the game. And he kind of just continued that. Then he had Tolbert on Sunday versus the Vikes, who scored 3 touchdowns. Welker goes nuts on Monday, which actually won him the game, I believe.
I think Seth just had a little bit of beginner's luck, and hopefully for him it continues. But there's some holes in his offense, and if he doesn't get to work and figure that out, he's really going to struggle the rest of the year.
He will. And for David Truttel, his team looks completely different than on draft night. He has now traded away his quarterback, traded away his tight end. Who else has he dished? Sir Kamish.
Geez, I think a running back.
Yeah.
2 tight ends.
2 tight ends he's dished.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's
crazy.
He loves to trade, and I knew that on that night that would not be the same team he would end up with
For week 1 even.
For week 1. Yeah, he got right to it, and you know what? That's how some people build their teams. And if people want to trade with him, more power to them.
And the big trade went down between Dave, the Tallahassee Trouser Snakes, and the Buffalo Armadillos, which are coached by Jack. So we didn't try this, but we're going to try it. We're going to call Jack right now, and we're going to see if we can get a hold of him to talk about the trade, talk about his week, and get his picks for next week. It'd be really nice if you picked up Jack.
We're even going to get voicemail. That's the question.
You reached the mobile phone of Jack Winchesky.
Should we leave
Leave your
voicemail?
name, number, and brief message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
Record your message after the tone. To send a numeric page, press 5. When you are finished recording, hang up. Or for delivery options, press pound.
What's crappin', Jack? This is Kyle and Sir Alexander O'Dunchkin coming at you live from the Under the Foreskin studios. Hey, we want to talk to you a little bit about your matchup last week, about some of the trades that went down between you and Sir David Truttel. And we also want to get your picks for next week. So if you got a minute in the next minute, call us back. And we'd love to talk to you about some fantasy football live on the air. We love you very much, and I guess good luck next week.
Yeah, who does he play next week? Let's take a quick look.
Who do you got next week, Jack? Oh, looks like you are playing the... Oh, you're playing Dinger, Team Buffalo matchup.
Boy.
Wow, that'll be great. We're really looking forward to that.
Who's the cream of the crop in Buffalo? We're going to find out this week.
We will find out. So give us a ring back if you get this. Bye.
So let's get back into it. Next up would be.
Well, we got to talk about the last matchup of Week 1, which was between the Buffalo Armadillos.
Are we missing two? Well, yeah. Then the last one is the Buffalo Armadillos and Hollywood Hotties.
I think we all know what happened on this one. On Sunday afternoon, this game was at about 92-30 with the Buffalo Armadillos in the lead. And the Hollywood Hotties was banking on a couple players on the Monday night games.
Well, they had about 4 or 5 players going.
Yep, to come up big.
Yes.
And they sure did. Tom Brady went nuts, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. Brandon Marshall had 15 points. Who else played? Reggie Bush had 14 points. The kicker for New England, Gotskowski, scored some points. And all of a sudden, the Hollywood Hotties were in the lead.
It was a high-scoring game all around, and it really paid off for the Hotties.
Yeah. You know, banking them for Monday night, hoping for a big day. So that worked out good for him.
And Brady might be the pickup of the year, $38.
First guy in the draft. We just got slapped around.
I think a lot of people were a little confused at what they should pay for Brady, and it just fell into Nick's lap.
Perfect. And he nominated him too.
Yeah.
Genius move.
Yeah.
So next week, the Potomac Pretenders, take on your Crapstone Prairie Dogs.
Well, I obviously have the Crapstone Prairie Dogs winning in this game. I think we got a pretty good game plan, and we'll be able to defeat the Pretenders.
And I like the Pretenders in this one. I got too many great matchups to lose. I got all terrible teams my players are playing, and we're gonna have 100 plus. Oh, Sir Jack calling in. What's crapping, Jack? You got a minute? You're live on Under the Foreskin.
Am I under the foreskin right now?
You're on Under the Foreskin right now.
That's great.
With me right now is Sir Alexander of Dunchkin.
Jack, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to hear from you, the commish.
So tell me what was going through your mind last week when you had probably a 60-point lead going into Monday night, and you fell to the Hollywood Hotties. Well, how did that feel for you?
You know, we felt really good going into Monday. We thought we put up a very strong performance throughout the weekend. The squad was happy, but we couldn't get up there and we couldn't play defense.
That'll happen.
And,
sometimes those bright lights get in your eyes, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly. The lights get bright, and, you know, we're starting a lot of young players. You know, we got Mike Williams, nice young kid we're really excited about, and lots of young guys, and they just couldn't get it done on the big stage.
So next week you're playing the Philly Dream Team, which is headed by obviously Neil Dinger Dingman, and that's the Battle of Buffalo is what they're calling it.
A lot of pride in that game, Jack.
The Battle of Buffalo, I'm pretty excited about it. Dinger's obviously put together a great squad, but I feel like we got a pretty favorable matchup. But yeah, definitely gonna try to work a new wrinkle into the Buffalo Armadillos this week. We're gonna start with 2 tight end set, Bowen Daniels and Antonio Gates, to see how we can do.
Wow, that's a new strategy for fantasy football. We are excited to see how that goes for you.
Yeah,